Welcome. These are photos from 1992, August 19th through 20th. 21st. January of 93, biology lab exercise, learning about Mendelian genetics. Handwritten notes. Diploid organisms have 2 genes for each trait because have homologous pairs. Gene, a hereditary unit, segment of DNA on a chromosome. Allele, alternate forms of genes. Example, for eye color, pigment or no pigment, dominant or recessive. Phenotype, an expressed trait. Genotype, the genetic makeup, actual alleles an organism carries. Hybrid, offspring of genetically different parents. True breeding, pure culture, offspring are all identical to parents, all homozygous. Monohybrid cross, parents differ for 1 trait. Dihybrid cross, parents differ for 2 traits. Locus, specific position of gene on a chromosome. Law of segregation. During gamete formation, 1 member of a pair of genes goes to each gamete. Meiosis to haploid gametes. RR to R, R. Law of independent assortment. Alleles of different genes assort independently during gamete formation. A photo of me and Mom at Chaz's place. January 6, 1993. Notes from Calculus 2 at university. Next page. Syllabus for Calculus 2, spring 1993. Calendar. 3 exams and final. Syllabus, handwritten by the teacher. And I can cut here to a fun AI read in the closest accent to his Australian.
Extra information. Spring 1993. Calculus 2. Lecturer. Dr. Chris, that's me. Office hours. To be announced. Final exam Monday, April 26, 10 to 11:50 a.m. Exams. All exams will be fully written. ANSWER exams. Approx. Exam percentages greater than 90A. Greater than or equal to 75B, 60C. Greater than 50D. Quizzes. No regular quizzes will be given. Homework. I will assign many problems each week for you to hand in on the next Tuesday. A random fraction of these will be graded, and your homework will return to you on the following Tuesday. Information and advice. 1. I urge you to see me and or your TA regularly in office hours, whenever you get stuck on any homework problem. 2. Etc. etc. Work hard, and all the best.
Next page. Calculus 2 notes. February 3rd, 93. An exam, Intro to Art. Still freshman year. Fine Arts Test. Directions. Choose 5 of the following terms, define, explain the significance of the term or idea for the history of art, and if possible, cite a work of art that demonstrates the term or idea. Aniconic, axial composition or organization, basilica, bodhisattva, Buddhism, capital, centering, contrapposto, fresco, hierarchical scale, Hinduism, nave, tablero, transept, vault. Next page. My answers. Contrapposto. It is the posture of the body in which its weight rests on one leg and leaving the other relaxed. It is significant in that it expresses naturalistic style and impression of motion with relaxed leg. Example, Doryphorus by Polykleitos. Aniconic relates to artistic representations of a character through symbols and not the icon itself, not portrait. It was important Buddhist principle, religious. Buddha could not be represented directly. Example, bow tree from Great Stupa at Sanchi. Buddha is hinted as bow tree in this case. Axial composition. Architectonic structure in which there is a central processional pathway. Surroundings are symmetrical entirely. By this, it gives the impression of balance and stability, which is the case of the Egyptian government. Example, hypostyle hall. Hierarchical scale. Scale by which most important character is biggest, least important is smallest. Conveys idea of who has authority clearly. Example, votive palette of pharaoh names. Tablero, rectangular part of buildings in Teotihuacan, consists of frame and an interior with very high relief sculptures. Could be Quetzalcoatl. They were where artists showed the gods in representational form on the buildings. Example, Pyramid of Quetzalcoatl. Parthenon, ancient Greek art, circa 450 BC, built by Callicrates and Iktinos. T. Watching hippopotamus hunt, Egyptian, circa 1400 BC, patron Pharaoh T. 3 goddesses, ancient Greek, circa 450 BC, built by Phidias. Hinduism, circa 700 AD. Stonehenge, prehistoric period, circa 2000 BC, England. Next page. Pyramid of the Sun, ancient America, circa 250 AD, Teotihuacan. Basilica, early Christian art, circa 300 AD, patron Constantine. Pagoda, Japanese art, Azuka period, circa 600 AD. Augustus, Roman imperial art, circa 15 AD, patroness Livia. Moses and birth, Jewish art, circa 250 AD. Doryphorus by Polykleitos, circa 450 AD. Greek civilization. It wasn't ordered to be built by anyone. Polykleitos did it as his canon of human proportions. This is copy of bronze original. Compared to Yakshi, fertility god at the stupa at Sanchi, Buddhist art. Doryphoros is the perfect proportions. 3D sculpture in contrapposto, movement capable. Nudity represents hero. Heroes were conceptualized naked. Yakshi is also a respectable character. fertility goddess. Non-movement, but accentuates on female body. Example, breasts, hips, and also embracing tree, as all part of fertility. Great Stupa at Sanchi, circa 250 BC, Buddhist. Pyramids of Egypt for 3 pharaohs. Stupa, with its dome, represents the cosmos and space, from which divinity or power flows. The sun is, however, not as important as for pyramids, in which the gods or pharaohs ascended through the rays of the sun, and also from the Ka to dwell. The tip would see first and last sun rays. Both were used politically by government. Akoshu, Buddhist emperor, built over 84,000 to gain acceptance and aid in political stability. Pyramids, while under construction, were also an aid to the political aspect, and that people would view these magnificent, grandiose monuments as the power of Pharaoh. While under construction also, pyramids offered Egyptians food and contentment. They were glad to help, thus adding political stability. The stupas offer Buddhists places where to practice religion. They were happy with Akoshu, the emperor, and thus respected him, political stability. Buddhists also worshipped at stupas, could ambulate around it, kind of in it, but pyramids were absolutely off-limits for people. Pantheon, domain, versus Hagia Sophia. Pantheon, Roman, versus Hagia Sophia, Byzantine. Pantheon is very complicated architectonically. Pantheon is, but it is a simple scale. A perfect sphere would fit in it. The massive dome was a grandiloquent expression of the sun god Jupiter. The oculus imparted sunlight, and the square ornaments aid in sun ray aspect and to lessen massive aspect. An unexpected interior, it has a Greek temple facade. Romans politically had an inferiority complex toward Greeks and had to imitate their style. So they introduced the stereotype for temples, Greek facade. Hagia Sophia has a dome which appears to be floating, as if suspended from the sky, because of the massive amounts of light that enters through windows. Light lessens the thick appearance of the support and gives the heavenly aura to any spectator who would be fascinated. As one enters this Christian temple, he or she would be just like in heaven. Hagia Sophia was built by orders of Justinian as a result of political instability. His last temple was destroyed, and so he built the new one, and hired experts in architecture to devise such an impressive, enormous structure. This aided in his political stability, since being him the patron, visitors of Hagia Sophia would be invited or hinted a bit on his power. Pantheon, although it offered a broader religious realm. Since Pan equals all, Theon equals God, it was a monument to all gods, not only Roman, but others too. Thus, more religions were included as fellows of this temple. Resting on 8 piers, used complicated arch and vault architecture. A-, good. Exam 1, Calculus 2, fall of 1993. Next sheet, a set of calculus problems to solve. Third page, same thing. Answer sheet and showing the work by Mark. Next page, same thing. Next page, same thing. Next page. Last page Total 99 over 100. Dr. Chris wrote excellent work, Mark. Exam 2, Calculus, Fall 93. Equations. Next page 2, equations to solve. Page 3, a bonus question. Next page has the worked out answers by Mark. Next page, same thing. Third page of answers, same thing. Bonus question solved. Next page has the teacher's grading, 98 over 100. Superb work, Mark. A certificate of Phi Eta Sigma Freshman Honor Society. Calculus homework dated March 30th, 1993. Next page. And the next. Next, Beta 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 Biological Honor Society invites to become a member. Invited April 7th, 1993. Letter dated May 7th, 93 from the Office of Admissions and Financial Aid. Congrats on your current GPA. Info about the Upper Class Merit Scholarship awarded based on GPA. For scholarship in the amount of $250 per term, totaling $500. Academic transcript of fall and spring terms dated and issued May 17th of 93. All A's and cumulative QPA 397. Courses of Biology 1 and Lab, General Chemistry, General Writing, and Calc 1. Then in the spring, Bio Lab 2 and Biology, General Chem 2, Intro to Art, and Calc 2. Letter dated May 18th, 93. Office of Admissions and Financial Aid. Congratulations, you've been awarded an Upper Class Merit Scholarship for the said amounts prior. Next, I will cut to...
Meanwhile, a girl named Marta, age 12 plus a few months, in 1993, while in 6th grade in Canada, wrote the following for school. The life of Marta, blank. My first 5 years. Just born. I was born on November 1st, 1980 in a hospital in Rybnik, Poland. My mom was in labor for 7 hours. At home, most of my relatives were there, which included my grandparents, uncles, aunts, and cousins. They all thought I was adorable. I got many presents from my relatives and many of my mom's and dad's friends. I had my first smile when I was a month old. I didn't have any hair. I was skinny when I was born. 1 year old. I started walking when I was 1 year old. I kind of started eating, but I was very messy and my mom didn't like cleaning up after me. My grandpas and grandmas came to visit me many times. I still didn't have any hair and my mom was worried if I ever would get any hair. 2 years old. I traveled for the first time to my grandma's house. She lived near a lake. It was pretty deep. My 2 first cousins were there too. Their names are Renata and Mark. Mark was 6 at that time and Renata was 7. 3 years old. My grandpa had his heart attack and he almost died. Everybody was worried about him, especially my grandma. I was very glad he was all right. I finally got my hair. My mom was very happy that I got my hair and so was I. 4 years old. I was very excited because finally I was starting nursery school. I was not very excited about going to nursery school after my first stay there. My mom said that I had to go to nursery school because she couldn't leave me with my babysitter. Mom had started working and I did not like the other babysitter that my mom hired. After a while, nursery school didn't seem so bad, I guess. My mom lost her baby and I was sad because I didn't want to be the only child. It was a boy. 5 years old, 1985. I didn't really like this year because it was the year that my sister was born and she got all the attention. Everybody was saying she was so cute and I thought she was the ugliest thing I ever saw. Then she got so many presents, more than I did when I was born. I was still in nursery school. I wished I was still a baby so I could get all the attention. I used to be so jealous that I would play my drums as loud as I could. One day I asked my mom and dad if they loved me and they said they did. I didn't really believe them then, but I believe them now. My school years. Kindergarten. I was excited to be in kindergarten because it was the last year of nursery school in Poland. I went to my dad's vet clinic and helped my dad if there was no school. I used to help my dad with cows, pigs, cats, dogs, horses, and many other animals. It was lots of fun. I didn't like my teacher and neither did some children in my class because she wasn't very nice to children. I used to have a friend in kindergarten called Stephanie. She was my best friend. We always played together after school and on weekends. Grade 1. I don't remember who my teacher was, but I really liked her a lot. I didn't really get to know her because my classmates drove her crazy and she got many migraines and she had to go to the hospital. The substitute wasn't very nice. I got my dog Nuka. I named her after a cute bear on television. She was very cute when I got her. I picked her because she was the cutest of all the puppies. Nuka ran away. In the middle of the school year, my mom went to Germany and then later my dad and my sister went too. I didn't go because my mom and dad wanted me to stay in Poland to have my first communion. I really wished I could have gone with them. Grade 2. After my dad and my sister left for Germany, I had to go to where my grandpa and my aunt lived. I didn't really want to go because I would have to leave all my friends, but I made new friends. I enjoyed living with my grandpa and my aunt. They were very nice to me. Then I had my first communion. I got many presents from all my relatives. I also liked living with my grandpa and my aunt because I would get all the attention. Grade 3. I moved to Germany. The flight was very long. I flew to Germany with my aunt. The food on the plane was good. My aunt stayed in Germany for a month. School was going to start soon and I was afraid I was never going to learn German, but I was wrong. I learned very quickly. I had also made many new friends, but my best friend was Mara Blank. Every Friday my class would go swimming for 2 hours for free. My teacher was Mrs. Blank. Grade 4. For a month Mrs. Blank was my teacher and then I moved to Canada. I had to say goodbye to all my friends in Germany. My trip to Canada was about 12 hours long. We flew from Frankfurt to Toronto and then from Toronto to Winnipeg. The food was wonderful. When we were just about to land, we received many chocolate bars and many games and markers. I didn't think I could learn English because everybody said that English was a hard language, but I did learn how to speak English. We moved to Hamiota, Manitoba. My teacher in Canada was Mrs. Blank. Mrs. Blank became very good friends with my family. Grade 5. My teacher was Mrs. Blank until February. She was nice. In February, I moved to Dauphin. I didn't like the kids or the people there. There was only 3 girls including me. One of the girls was an Indian girl and the other was a Chinese girl. My teacher was Mr. Blank from February until June. He was all right. My report card was very good. For our field trip, we went to a park near Dauphin. We went to see many buffalo and we had a picnic too. Grade 6. My teacher is Miss Blank. Our whole grade 6 class went to Winnipeg for 2 days. Everybody had a great time. I've had a great year and I hope next year will be like this one too. My hobbies and interests. I like watching television and I like sports. Some sports that I like are baseball and soccer. I enjoy playing my clarinet and I enjoy babysitting. I've never played ringet in my whole life and I don't think I'll be good at it. Some other hobbies that I have are swimming and shopping. I also like to travel around the world. I already have been in Czechoslovakia, United States, West Germany, East Germany, Holland, Poland, Canada. I love flying on airplanes. I already flew 3 times on airplanes. I have many other hobbies, but that would take too long to mention them all. My family. I live with my mom, dad, and my sister. My mom's name is Anna Banana. She has blonde hair and green eyes. She is also tall. My dad's name is Peter Pumpkin Eater. He has brown hair and green eyes and he is tall. My mom and dad like to take walks. My mom is a pediatrician and my dad is a vet. My dad works at the Blank Vet Clinic. My mom has to pass some more exams to be a pediatrician in Canada. My sister is in grade 2. Her name is G-Dog. She has blonde hair and green eyes and she is kind of tall. I don't really like her because I always get blamed for everything she does. My sister enjoys skating, playing baseball and soccer. My sister goes to baseball practice. I have a grandma, great-grandma, 2 uncles, 2 aunts, 1 grandpa, many cousins, great-uncles, and great-aunts. Some of these people live in Germany, United States, and in Poland. My friends. Some of my friends are the girls in my class. I have many more friends in many different countries like in Germany and Poland. My best friend lives in Germany, her name is Mara Blank. We write letters to each other all the time. I also write many letters to my cousin Renata who lives in Poland. Renata is 18 years old and her brother is 17 years old. I also have many friends at my grandma's place in Poland. They are the same age as me. I haven't seen them for 4 years. I think a friend is a person who is understanding, honest, a person who you can trust, and a person who is friendly. My pets. I used to have a dog in Poland called Nuka. She was a dachshund. Nuka was a chocolatey brown color. She was fat and her belly used to drag on the floor. She used to eat out of the garbage cans. I liked Nuka, she was my best friend. One summer long ago my family decided to go for a vacation. We left her with one of my mom's friends. When we came back our dog wasn't there anymore, she had run away looking for us. Everybody in my family likes dogs except my mother. I really liked Nuka. I hope she is alright wherever she is. My favorites and bad habits. My favorite food is pizza, but I don't like ham and bacon. My favorite show is Married with Children, and my favorite time of the day is after school because I can watch my favorite shows on television. My favorite day of the week is Friday because it is the last day of school before the weekend. I hate Monday because it is the start of a new school week. I hate studying for tests and I hate writing tests. My favorite subjects are spelling, math, computer, band, PE, health, and French. The subjects that I hate are language, art, science, and social studies. In the future, I hope to start liking these subjects. My bad habit is biting my nails. I hope to change this bad habit. Me today. My name is Marta Blank. I am 12 years old. I have brown hair and green eyes. I am tall and I have short hair. Now I am finishing grade 6. Next year I will be in grade 7 and I hope to enjoy grade 7 as much as I have enjoyed grade 6. Our whole class went to Winnipeg for 2 days this year. It was lots of fun. We went swimming and we visited some museums. The museum that I liked the best was the Museum of Man and Nature because it had many things about nature. I can't wait until summer holidays start because I'm going to Poland for the first time in 4 years. For the first month I am going to stay at my cousin's and my grandma's house. The next month I'm going to go to my aunt's and grandpa's apartment. My future plans. When I grow up I want to be a lawyer or I want to be a teacher. I might want to marry someone, but I don't think I will. I don't want to have any kids. I want to be rich, I want 2 expensive cars, a gorgeous house, to live in a hot place in the world like California or Florida.
Next, an envelope. From Luis in New York to Mark, to Chaz's address. Feliz 28, New York, 2 de agosto del 93. Señor viuda de East and West. ¿Cómo estás, condenado? Espero que estés bien, junto con tu family. Yo estoy bien y todos aquí también. Oye, discúlpame por haberme demorado tanto. ¿Sabes dónde estuve? En New Hampshire, como 2 semanas. Fue excelente. Me gustó, sobre todo las hembras. Qué gringas. Aunque me pasé en no escribirte antes. Disculpa. Sabes, ya no estoy trabajando. La compañía donde trabajaba quebró. Alucina como el dueño se fue a Colombia con su esposa. Dejaron a su hijo, que también trabajaba allí. Y este huevón se sale robando un culo de dinero. Y encima, cuando se quitó, se llevó las compañías con quienes trabajamos. O sea, la compañía se fue a la M. Pero felizmente estoy colectando. O sea, eso quiere decir que estoy de vago. No, estoy buscando trabajo. Ahora en septiembre entro a la guardia. En agosto, o sea, el miércoles, tomaré unos cursos de matemáticas. Iba a tener de inglés, pero los suspendieron, o sea que los tomaré en septiembre. Yo, bueno, no sé, pero mi inglés, a comparación de cuando nos vimos, que no sabía nada, ahora sé, no tanto, pero algo. Oye, qué calor hace aquí, no me gusta, prefiero el invierno, yeah. Oye, las fotos que mandaste de DM, that's Depeche Mode, y Rush están excelentes. Ah, con respecto a la pregunta tuya, ¿qué te recomiendo para mejorar tu logo de DM? Mi answer is... Te diré o ya te dije que me compré una guitarra eléctrica de la PM. Es Fender, blanco y negro. También tengo un pequeño amplificador y un DOD pedal. Es distortion. La tengo desde marzo y ya te imaginas cómo me rayaré. Yo cuando la tuve era muy diferente a la acústica. Me chocó, pero ahora ya la domino más o menos. Ya he sacado temas de Metallica, que ni los podía sacar en Lima, con acústica. Quiero aprender música, saber más, y no solo guitarra, de todo. Y sé que podré aprender, me gusta, bueno, ya verás. Oye, ¿sabes? Ahorita mismo estoy escuchando en la radio americana, folclor peruano, la cagada. Oye, el dólar en Lima ha subido, está a 2.50 soles, alucina. Dicen que el pasaje está como en 50 centavos para el bus. Ayer domingo Perú jugó con Argentina para entrar al Mundial, pero perdió como siempre, 1-0. Y dicen que la situación en Lima está más o menos. Cayó Abimael Guzmán y están cayendo terroristas a cada rato. ¡Ja! Blank me contó que la gente brava o nos mandan saludos. Dicen que Luz Blank está en bola. Piña, ¿no? Ella era más tranquila que Consuelo, ¿no? A lo mejor parecía, pero ella era, o mejor dicho es, más rica que su hermana, ¿no? Oye, dijo Blank que está en la San Martín, pero sigue preparándose para la Católica. Me alegra por él y me dijo que le escribieras. Y que Pedro Blank se había casado con una chica de 17 años. ¡Diablos! Oye, no sé todavía, pero en septiembre toca Depeche Mode en el Madison y Ankli quiere ir. Yo lo acompañaría al menos para ver cómo es un concierto. Eso sí, me cuesta caro lo que te gusta. Tú sabes, yo no voy con el tacho. Como verás en el sobre, ahora estoy viviendo en otro lado. Ahora estamos más tranquilos, más cómodos. La renta es cara, pero entro todos, sí podemos. Mira, tú puedes escribirme en cualquiera de las dos direcciones, aunque mejor en la de siempre o también con la otra como quieras. Vamos al diagrama como siempre. Bueno, me quito. No tengo más que decirte. Cuídate, saluda a tu familia y a tu hembra o a tu sambo, si tienes, y disculpa por demorarme. Yo no me olvido en escribirte. Nos vemos o nos escribimos. Chao, tu pata Luis. PDDD, disculpa la letra como siempre, y oye, cuando me mandas tu Jetfire, ja ja ja. A photo of me painting a room at Chaz's house. An essay likely to be September of 93. I grew up in Lima, Peru, where I became part of a third world culture. There I lived among the most diverse social conditions, enriching my understanding of people and enabling me to better face different situations. Early in my childhood, I was encouraged to be a hardworking student. At the age of 4, I learned to read in Spanish, and therefore I was accepted as a student in the first grade. I have been awarded first-place diplomas every year in high school, graduating as class valedictorian at age 14. Reaching 15 years of age, I returned to the United States and was pleasantly impressed with the contrast of the American and Peruvian societies. Deciding that a little reinforcement in my English could help, I did 1 additional year and a half of high school before entering the university, where I have been awarded the Dean's Honors Lists and the Upper Class Merit Scholarships. My SAT scores were 1180. I scored 710 on the math section and 470 on the verbal section. At the university, I have taken courses in general biology and chemistry, calculus, neuroscience, honors genetics, organic chemistry, as well as several laboratories. This term, I am taking developmental biology with laboratory, which I find quite interesting as well. I am also an associate member of the Beta 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 Biological Honor Society. Last year, I served as a volunteer at blank eye and ear hospitals. The contact with doctors as well as with patients was a great healthcare experience. Also, last term I started working as a part-time histologist in a pharmacology laboratory at the university. I began as a lab aide, but soon my employer chose me to help him with his research. He investigates the effect of certain drugs on CFOS oncogene expression in the spinal cord of rats. Recently, I have been invited to the 1994 Honors Convocation Ceremony as an honoree for having been named to the Phi Eta Sigma Honorary Society. Next essay. Late in my freshman year, I chose the molecular biology major among those offered by the Biological Sciences Department. I find molecular biology to be a fascinating discipline since nearly all biological, physiological, and genetic events have explanations at the molecular level. Many of such questions remain unanswered, and it is thus that I venture into this exciting and relatively new field of biology to explore and answer some of those questions. Most of my interest and research comes from studying the revolutionary advances in molecular biology techniques made in recent years, such as recombinant DNA methods and gene therapy. Such advances make molecular biology a rapidly expanding and thus very promising new field for investigation. I have always found the biological sciences attractive. When I was 3 years old, I went to live to Peru for 12 years with my father, who is a physician. I developed a strong sense of trust and safety when I was with him, and he was always there to help me when I was sick. I recall his confident, reassuring ways that helped me to recover, and his knowledge and experience have encouraged me to choose the medical profession. I find the medical career to be very challenging, humanitarian, and rewarding, and I hope to be someday as dependable and experienced as my father. By living in Peru, I also became part of a third world culture. I have lived among the most diverse social conditions, enriching my understanding of people and enabling me to better face different situations. I have always been a hard-working student. At the age of 4, I learned to read in Spanish, and therefore I was accepted as a student in the first grade. I have been awarded first-place diplomas every year in high school, graduating as class valedictorian at age 14. Reaching 15 years of age, I returned to the United States and was pleasantly impressed with the contrast of the American and Peruvian societies. Deciding that a little reinforcement in my English could help, I did 1 additional year and a half of high school before entering the university, where I have been awarded the Dean's Honor Lists and the Upper Class Merit Scholarships. My SAT scores were 1180. I scored 710 on the math section and 470 on the verbal section. At the university, I've taken courses in general biology and chemistry, calculus, neuroscience, honors genetics, organic chemistry, as well as several laboratories. This term, I'm taking developmental biology with laboratory, which I find quite interesting as well. I am also an associate member of the Beta 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 Biological Honor Society. Last year, I served as a volunteer at blank eye and ear hospitals. The contact with doctors as well as patients was a great healthcare experience. Also last term, I started working as a part-time histologist for a pharmacology laboratory at the university. I began as a lab aide, but soon my employer chose me to help him with his research. He investigates the effect of certain drugs on CFOS oncogene expression in the spinal cord of rats. I plan to further my education in medical school and possibly pursue an MD, PhD degree. The medical profession is being more and more closely attached to molecular level knowledge of biological processes. Thus, research in molecular biology would be an excellent experience. I am certain that I would work hard to make the best use of a Howard Hughes Summer Research Scholarship, or Fellowship. Off-campus commuters would often joke about fighting for parking spaces on the street or on parking lots, I suppose. Behavioral Neuroscience Problem Set, October 93. My answer to that problem set and the posted key answers afterwards. Photo at Chaz's place on his birthday. Chaz worked at the VA hospital. And a planner. LB and UB is lower body, upper body workouts. End of year finances. It seems that in 93 I started with just over 3K. Income of $2,300, expenses $2,900, so I finished the year with about $2,400. Main income was student loan disbursements. Main expense was $200 to Chaz monthly rent January to April, and $2,000 to Chaz on June 30th for use of the Mazda Protege, second car he bought. I had expenses for groceries, gasoline, car oil, and filter that I would change at home. Books for college, and sometimes students could sell them after the semester. On June 8th, I got a mountain bike for $95 at Service Merchandise. It seems my first official paycheck was November 5th, 93, at age 17, for occasional work at a medical science laboratory. That's about it. Until you see me again, be well, everyone.